stroke catalog of counts I trained. Before we get into that, I'd like to do an overview. I learned these stick counts so that I could cross-train with FMA people, Filipino martial arts. I'm not a Filipino martial arts person or practitioner, okay? But I learned these counts so I would know their stroke catalog. And I found out that they're good for my solo training because they force me to do different types of motion. The first stroke in most FMA counts is a forehand, usually diagonal, sometimes lateral. The last stroke in most counts is this vertical backhand. So it's usually our 1 and our 4 are usually the first and last strokes in all of these. I haven't seen one of these FMA counts that is pure blade or pure stick. They're hybrids. I'll let you know when I'm doing a blade, what's a blade stroke as I count through these things. The bilateral aspect of FMA is demonstrated in this 4 count here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Richard Bustillo, the man that does 4 count, is extracted from his 12 count, explained to me that the FMA counts are bilateral because they're primarily training and marketing devices to take FMA to American karate people. And they were originally selling this, him and Dan Inosanto, back in the 70s, selling it to martial arts people as coordination training. Okay? And he explained to me, in FMA, they start out with the weapon, and they want to use it to coordinate both sides of the body. So that doesn't happen in a fight. If you're doing this, you're getting beat. You're getting dissected. But that's the training aspect of it. The limitations on these counts are they all have non-functional blows in them. I do have a couple of extracted counts that are all functional that we came up with. Now I will go through them from the shortest counts to the longest counts. I'll count it first, second time I'll do it indicating which ones are blade strokes, and then the third time I'll just do it. Stroke catalog, stick stroke counts. Let me start with our 4. 1, 2, I'm doing all these with motion. 1, 3, 1, 4. So I try to use each one of those strokes as they would be used in a fight. Gabriel's 5 count, he uses this to train beginners. It's good for starting somebody out in knife fighting. It's 2 X's. Head, head, hand, hand, step. Hand, hand, head, head, step. Hand, head, head, hand, step. You mix it up those 3 different ways. Works with the knife, works with the stick. It's one of the few that's like that. The Crooked 7 was one that we devised by taking all the strokes that we've ever seen or have used against somebody or have had used against us that actually worked in a stick fight. Okay, so here's the Crooked 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've gone 1, 2. We're switching the lateral from diagonal. Okay. 3, 4. So we come back to a safe spot. 5 is a stab. 6 is making space. 7 is the same thing. It's usually the last count in the FMA count. So I'll do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a straight 8. It was devised by Charles. 1, it's a blade count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 7's a draw cut. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're setting up the triangle. Okay. 5, going out. 6, draw cut. 7, 8. crooked 8 is the same count with a different foot pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're doing a forward triangle here. 5, 6, draw cut, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The draw cut's really important for when you miss the head or neck. You go over the shoulder, other neck. 8. John's 8. I'm convinced this is an old saber count. This is a Vietnamese guy that was showing me Filipino martial arts. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It would be very important bringing something up when you're going forward. You usually want to go away when you bring something up. You want to go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. John Snake 8. 1, 2, 3. If you can get that in, that pass slash on the lateral, that's great. 4, 5, 6, 7 to the eye, 8 to the eye, which makes it a legitimate stick stab. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's probably a beat against a weapon. 7, 8. Richard Bustillo's 12 count. This is a power hitting stick count that's got blade stuff stuck in the middle of it, okay? I've trained doing it a lot. Lateral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The stabs are to the gut and to the chest. They're not really good stick stabs. That's saber work in there. The knee strikes, I go over the head for the knee strike because I'm only going to go after a knee after a roof block. So let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. At the end, that's a forehand vertical, backhand vertical. This count works really good for power training because the bilateral aspect of it and these perfectly lateral shots, they go into making you move back and forth. And a guy that I used to fight developed a lot of power by using these lateral strokes in weak half tournaments to go across where the sewing was done to make the suit quilt, so he'd hit them where it wasn't padded. And diagonal didn't do that because the suit was designed against diagonals. Gabriel's 12. I don't know this one very well, so I'll do it slowly, so maybe you'll be able to follow it. Okay. This starts out with a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we drop down and smash the foot. 6. I like this because it's not a bilateral count. Then we hit the opposite knee. 7. Okay. Then we stab him in the chest. Okay. Then we stab him in the other side of the chest. Then we do the fan on the top and come down with a power hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. When you're fanning, you better have your hand on the guy. Okay? 12. Clark's 12. He told me this is based on Lamika Eskrima. I'll do this with the baton because this is really mostly blade stuff in here that's been adapted for the stick. And to me, it looks like a good sword count. 1. Now I follow the same line back up. 2. To me, this is a sword beat. It's a slash and a beat, or a beat and a slash. 3, 4, 5. Go to here. 6, 7, 8. Now you slash out. 9, 10. Now you slash out. 11, 12. Now I like this as a blade count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At this point, he told me to go to here, so this makes me think this is against a form against multiple opponents. 6, 7, 8, which is a stab, then we slash out. 9, move to the other side of the body so you don't get sprayed. 10, slash out. 12. Charles' 12 count, which is the straight 8 or the crooked 8 with an escape added onto the end of it in case it doesn't work out. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've changed up the footwork some here. 5, 6, 7, 8. What I'm about to do is the most important stroke in knife fighting, and it works with a stick too. You have to move to the side and wipe check here and cut here. So you're doing this as you move to the side. Okay? If you don't have all 3 elements and he's any good, you're getting stabbed. Okay? You got to have them all on. Okay? Now I'm cutting in here. I'm cutting out here, and we're doing our safety cut at the end. We're just closing our guard back up. And maybe catching a hand and the knife's still going in, because that happens. Knife fighting is extremely ugly. So now I'll just count them all. And I'm going to do it to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice when I bring my feet together, the base foot's flat, the other one's coming up, because I'm going to accelerate off of that. I'll restart the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, draw cut, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Raymar's 13. This is a guy that taught me this nifty stretch and thought I was insane and didn't want to train with me too much and wouldn't let me spar with any of his people. I really liked this count, even though this style to me was not very practical, because this count forced me to move. It's a hybrid blade count, stick count. I'd say this is machete fighting here. This is for use with a machete. First, I'll do the numbers. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, spleen, 5, 6 liver, 7 heart, 8 knee, 9 knee, 10 eye, 11 eye, 12 top of the head, 13 top of the head. I like this because he combines the axe with the lateral. This is to get his blade busy, and this is to take his head off. Okay. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This count makes you circle. If you're trying to do something realistic, every time you lay a stroke in, this is forcing you to work around the guy. I'm going to try to work the other way. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Mentally, as I'm going over this, trying to work this way, it doesn't work as well, and I've got to end up retreating. Lee Dinatelli's 20 count, which he developed off of Richard Bustillo's 12 count, which is an adaptation of the Dosi Pari's guard, which I think means 12 guards, so it's redundant. Okay, so we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, diagonal, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm going to repeat that one more time, and I'm going to go over the last 4. All we did was take the Dosi Pari's 12 and add an X pattern on the end of it and went to some clinching stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I don't know what the hell I'm counting. I think I threw an extra 2 in there. Okay. I'm going to focus on the last 4 that count. They're butt strokes. The first 2 are a stop and escape. I've used them in fighting. That's how we put them into the count. Checking hand, and you stab him right here. Okay? If he's got a helmet on, it works good. If he's got a fencing mask on, mask might come off. If he doesn't, you bury it right in there. Okay? So it gives you momentarily control over his forward pressure. And you're doing this probably because he's a short, stocky dude that's stronger than you. So you can't stay there because he's grabbing this. So the next stroke is now you're shoving him. I stopped him and jammed this in his neck. Now I'm shoving him and passing the other side of his head. So I've gone stop him, shove and pass. Stop him, shove and pass. I did this with a 400-pound guy. He didn't move, but I did. I was actually able to use this to move myself off. The other ones are for the big guy, okay? Stop him and jam this in his kidney, shove him off, and put this in the solar plexus, okay? I've had no luck with these whatsoever, but they've been used on me. Working on strips. Disarms in FMA, that's mostly what you're taught in FMA class. Then when you get in a fight, none of them work. I've been in about 660 stick fights that we recorded. That's not sparring. I've been stripped, I think, 17 times. 12 of them were the same guy, and he was murdering me when he did it. So he was able to do all the fancy disarms that work in demonstration, but only worked on me because I was fighting for my life and losing. What I'm going to go over here are disarms that I've actually gotten on people and other people have gotten on me who weren't murdering me, okay? Which is, the other 8 times it's happened. So the basic one, the easiest one, if the guy gives it to you, if he comes with a backhand, just do a backhand to my head, okay? Most guys, when they first start fighting, as soon as they hit something, their hand loosens and they don't know it. So I caught a stick just like this. It was purely by accident, so I'm not that coordinated. And his hand loosened. Now if I try to pull it this way, it's not coming out. But I pulled it straight out and I just got his stick. Never happened again. There's evidence one time that it could happen. So if you could take this, if you know he's coming with a lateral, and you can pull it directly out here. Okay, now me and this guy, if we're wrestling, it's going to go one way. We can wrestle 100 times, he's going to win 100 times. So the FMA guys will teach you to do all this kind of stuff, which I'm probably doing wrong. It wouldn't matter because now he's got my head, he's going to grab my head, my leg, knee me, whatever. Okay, so we're disarming, we want to stay away. So you just catch it and you go this way. Now, that is your backhand catch. The beat strip, if he's trying to stab me, or if he's just poking a stick at me, guys will do this a lot. If you can just beat it into your other hand, then you have a chance of doing that. You also have a chance of him getting a stick when you do this, and that has happened before too. So anytime something is coming at you with a stab like this, I did this to Charles like 4 weeks ago, and he was murdering me. So he decided he was going to start stabbing me to torture me even more and punish me for getting fat, and I did this. Okay? So you do it, Sean. I'm poking at you. You just back that into your empty hand. And you can just keep that empty hand loose down around your waist and bat it into it. That's pretty simple. And that's worked pretty reliable. Anytime somebody sticks a stick out like this because they're afraid of you, always happens the first time they fight, then you do that. What I'm about to do is the most important disarm that's very reliable unless the guy's a monster. So if Sean's going for my head, okay, and I just take it here on the elbow. Well, if I screwed up my roof block, I shot my arm out there first. That's fine. The stick's going to continue to come down here, and I can snake it. Now, when you do this, you can pull it this way, okay? Or you could invite him to hold on to it and pull it this way as you hit it. He can hold on to that if he wants to, which I want to happen because I want to smash him in the head. So most guys will elect to just leave the stick in your arm rather than eat that. Okay. So switch your hand. We'll do it this way. So from here, here. You'll be taught to do this. Again, if I do this, Sean, what are you going to do with your other arm? I mean, in an empty hand fight, I can't beat him, so why am I doing this? I'm making an empty hand fight. So I want to do this. Now I want to get the hell away from him. Okay, and hit it. I've done this like this before and stayed here too long and got caught in the head crank. So just put that on. Okay, and that's, I quit on my feet because I couldn't handle the neck pressure. All right? Do it this angle here. Okay. You could go here. Okay. I wouldn't do it because then we're clinching up. I could do a weak pivot off my heel here, and then I still have a backhand if he comes in.